My buddy Wally has decided to come help me film the video about the soundtracks of Traveler. Wally just turned 14. Looks pretty darn good for a 14-year-old cat. So there you go. You get a look at my buddy. Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at an interesting topic, I think, for Traveler, the music of Traveler. There is actually a surprising amount of music out there. The first one I'm going to talk about is going to be the Lord Weird Slough Feg for Traveler. This was an interesting offering about 20 years ago. It's heavy metal by the band Slough Feg. And by the way, I thought it was Slough Feg when I first saw the band name, but I did some research on it, and it's based on a comic book character who would assume other people's skins and then slough them off. So Slough Feg seems to be the most likely pronunciation. This is an authorized Traveler metal album set in the Spinward Marches that has a lot of Traveler theme to it and a lot of, for someone who's not a metal head, I enjoyed some of the cuts on this, and I have played it in the background as I was prepping up modules or not modules, but prepping up a game here and there or doing research for my channel. I had my son, who is a metalhead, my son Adam. I had him listen to this, and he actually liked it. And the original plan was he was going to join me, and we were going to do this critique of the album and everything. But time has not allowed that between our schedules. So I'm just doing this one solo. Maybe sometime down the line I'll prevail on Adam to give us a full review. But this album was out in 2003, and it is authorized by Mark Miller. So it is an authorized Traveler product. And as I said, it takes place within the Spinward Marches and has some Spinward themed music. I'm not going to play the music because I don't want to run afoul of any copyright bots or any of the YouTube robots, so I cannot play the music. But what I'm showing here is on YouTube. This entire album is available on YouTube. It's also available on Spotify. I have access to both, and I've listened to it on both. So I do recommend it. I'll put links below for the YouTube for the Lord Weird Slough Feg album of Traveler. I do recommend it. And now we're going to take a look at the next one. The second one I want to talk about is an official Traveler official music video published by Mongoose Publishing by a man named Tom Cook, and it's set in the Spinward Marches, it seems, again, and it follows the adventures for 3 or 4 minutes of a traveler. I don't know why this went on pause. There we go. I'm just going to show a little bit of the video itself, but it's got some pretty good graphics. It's interesting. It tells a little story. It's about 4 minutes long, and it's a pretty good song. Again, I'll put a link to this below, but this is just a little traveler adventure for you with some animation. Again, it was brought to us by Mongoose, so I do recommend it. The next one I'm going to take a look at is from the Pirates of Drinax soundtrack. That was out about 4 years ago, from Mongoose Publishing. This video, this sampling of the Pirates of Drinax soundtrack is also available on YouTube. I'll put the link below, where you can actually listen to one of the tracks off the Pirate of Drinax soundtrack. And they called it a soundtrack, and I'll show it in a moment what it was. But interestingly, it is a soundtrack. If you're listening to it by itself, it sounds very much like a soundtrack to a movie. And I was actually kind of pleased with that, because I have to say, when I bought it, I wanted background music, stuff that would not be intrusive, but I could play during a Traveler game. And that's exactly what I got. It's good background music if I'm prepping a game, or if we're playing, I can play it in the background. We often play music, and I don't mind a little mood music. We use Star Wars and Star Trek soundtracks forever, but it's kind of nice to have some actual dedicated Traveler music. And this free sample from the Pirates of Drinax soundtrack, and this too is available on YouTube, and I'll put a link to that below. And now I've got one more thing to show you. The last bit of music I want to talk about is the Pirates of Drinax soundtrack itself. I picked this up off Mongoose's website not too long ago, and I just got it as a download, and it plays very fine on my tablet. It plays on my computer, but as importantly, it plays on my Spotify. I was able to load it into its own folder on Spotify, and I can listen to it in the car if I want to. And this, as I said, is a genuine soundtrack. It's got a nice kind of background scene feel to it, which is what I'm looking for on a soundtrack. We have 12 cuts, which are unfortunately not in order here, but when you bring them over to Spotify, you can put them in order and you can play it. And I have. I enjoyed this. I thought this was just a really good offering from Mongoose Second. There's the cover, the Pirates of Drinax. Let me see if I can shrink it. There we go. That's the cover looks like. You can get it as a CD, or you can get it as just a download, as I did, a PDF, and play it on many devices. I enjoy having this. I like the soundtrack, and I do recommend it. Interestingly, the State of Mongoose for 2023 came out, and it's on their website. If you go ahead and take a look there, you'll see the State of Mongoose, what they accomplished in 2023, and what they're hoping to accomplish in 2024. And one of the things that they talked about was that they are going to release another soundtrack, this one based on the Fifth Frontier War, and that'll be out sometime in 2024. So I'm actually excited because we continue to grow a traveler music library, and I am pretty excited at that prospect. I really enjoyed getting this, and then what you get with the PDF also is you get kind of a background synopsis of each of the songs, and then a little artwork to go along with it. So I think this was definitely worth looking at. I enjoyed it, and I do recommend it. I think it's exciting that we've got another soundtrack coming. And I said I don't know any more about that because I simply read it this morning in the State of Mongoose. And I'm pretty excited. So we're going to have a little bit more music coming our way from Mongoose, this being official traveler music for the Fifth Frontier War. But that's all I've got to say for today. Just a quick look at some of the actual legitimate traveler music. There's plenty of other stuff out there. John Williams gave us the excellent Star Wars music that fit into his background for a lot of games, and I've played many times over the years. And there's just a lot out there now, a lot more than there used to be. But if there's any type that you listen to while you game, please put in the comments below. To me, music is just a huge part of the game, and I'm glad that we're able to enjoy it in different formats, and that we have some actual custom music for Traveler itself. That's all I've got to say today on page 121. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.